Today, Rich Rosignol and I, we're going to be tackling disassembling this old headliner from the 52 and trying to make a new one. It seems like an ambitious task. There's probably a reason people don't usually do this for themselves, but we're going to try it. We both seem kind of confident we can pull it off. So we just put in an 8-hour day. We had to disassemble the entire headliner and then make patterns. So we took each section and then laid it out, cut it, gave some extra on the ends so that we can pull it to the side when I gotta staple it in. And then we had to sew all the pieces together. This part here goes around the back window. So we had to add some seams and put it all together. It was a long day, man. This part here is where the rods go through, the bows. So we had to sew that all up. There's a lot to this. Tomorrow morning, though, we should be able to get those two pieces sewn together and attach it to that. And the headliner should be completely put together. Then the next project, I gotta find material that's long enough to make this windlace. We ran out of that material. We don't have enough to make this out of it. So I'm gonna have to order it online because I just went to a couple fabric stores in town and did not find anything like this in the color that I want or the length that I want. The color that they did have my color, but they only had 2 yards and I need 4. So shit out of luck there. Anyway, today being a long day, I'm gonna go get some dinner, hang out with the wife for a bit, get back here in the morning and finish it up. Sewing in the last piece. All right, here's the final product, all sewn together. Hopefully we did it all right and it'll fit in the car. Couldn't have done it without Rich's help. Appreciate it, buddy. That's gonna look so sick in that car. So I hit a standstill with the wiring. I don't mess with wiring at all. I don't know anything about it. I'll try to do just about anything, but I don't understand what to do with it. So I'm not gonna mess with it. I'd rather not have my car burned down. So I'm trying to reach out to someone to get that part taken care of for me. In the meantime, I guess we can look at the list where we're at and see what we're gonna tackle next here. So don't mind my sloppy handwriting and misspellings, but this is the list of shit we got to do to get this interior back together. So far, we got the seats out, the flooring out, door panels out, headliners out. We scraped and cleaned the roof. We made the new headliner. And then let's see, where are we at now? Looks like we got to do everything else on the list. So, what I might try to do at this point is I need to put plywood in the backrest because I want something to stick the sound deadener to and also give it a little more support. So, that's going to be the thing we're going to tackle next here. As you can see, it just has this old floppy cardboard backing in here. And what I'm going to do is try to measure this out and get us some pieces cut that I can slide in there and then screw them in from the front. So yeah, that's what we're gonna attempt to do now, because that needs to get done. And I'm waiting on the wiring. So let's go. So what I'm hopeful of here that we can pull off is if I make one of these for this side, this should be symmetrical. So I should be able to just flip the board, trace another one, and cut two out. I don't see why that couldn't happen. So that's what we're gonna attempt to do. Gotta be mindful of the wires up here, so maybe I won't go all the way up into that. So we have a place for that wiring to feed into the trunk. As long as I got something to adhere the new sound deadener to, that's kind of the goal. All right, let's take a look at some measurements here then. Yeah, and I'm gonna screw this back into the machine screw once that's all in, said and done. Okay, let's go. Should set down in that groove. So like 12 inches. (12 by 20). There's the other wire going in. Oh, that's old. That doesn't do anything. All right. Good to know. I'm just gonna shove that through the hole. Or not. Anyway. We'll go 12 by 20 by, we'll give a little gap up there, so we'll say 17 and a half. All right. Well, not exactly going like I planned it. Here we go. Just gotta finagle it, and I might have to shrink it. Nope, here we go. It's just getting it around things. Look at that. I think it'll work. I just gotta use a screwdriver to get it into the final position when I'm ready to screw into it. But it looks like it's gonna fit pretty well. All right, get it back out. We'll make a pattern for the other one. Damn it. Well, getting it in was too hard, but getting it out now. What the f? There we go. Okay, I'm gonna pre-drill some holes so we can get these screws to go in. I didn't have the next size up from this, so I'm gonna drill one out and see if it fits. And if it doesn't, we just have to waller out all the holes to make it work. See if that screw's gonna fit it. Yeah, we're gonna have to waller them out. That'll work. Figure we'll put 3 on each side. My air tank's in there, so I gotta be careful of that, I guess. Let's go nice and easy so don't rip it, because these are actually not for wood. These are intended for sheet metal. But I don't have any flathead wood screws that will work, so these are gonna work. I don't think I'm hitting it on this side. I think it's missing the wood. All right, gotta take that out. It's vibrating, which you don't really want, but I'm thinking once the sticky shit's on it, it's not gonna be able to do that, so. I do have some longer screws. Maybe I could get one on this side. Look at that. Much better. I wish I could get that top one too, but it's kind of like that on the other side as well. Okay, new plan. To try to keep this stuff from moving. I have some double-sided tape. It's kind of got like a foam part of it, so I'm hoping that if that's up against there, sticking on both sides, and if it does pop loose, it won't be so loud because it'll have this foam piece in the middle of it. Anyway, I'll get this on there a little bit so it actually has something to stick to, kind of. It ain't gonna be the best, but it kind of holds. Not the best, but it's there. And then once the other stuff's on it, at least if it bounces loose, it'll have something soft to go against it, so it ain't making noise. Do the same on that side. It's not sticking the best, but that's better. Awesome. Yeah, once the other stuff's on it, it shouldn't go anywhere. Cool. It's better than nothing. All right, plywood backrest done. So this is from the old window deck. It's pretty broken up. Looks like crap. I don't think I can adhere the new vinyl to this and use it because it's just squishy and junk. So I'm gonna cut a new piece out of this flooring underlayment that I have. It's real thin, like 1/4 inch plywood. So we're just gonna make a new deck. I know it's not gonna fit in there exactly the same because it won't have the curvature that the other one did, but I really don't care. This is just what's gotta happen, so. The line right there, but not too bad. It's going to be wrapped anyway with vinyl, so all right, that's done. My friend Dave stopped by to give me a hand welding up all the holes in the floor. The welding is complete in the floor. It's all patched up. We're about to repair the visor weld that snapped off when we went over to Schulzberg last summer. We got a piece cut. About to tack it in there and then we'll pull this back off and get it welded up right. We decided to replace the bracket on the other side as well because it wasn't in good shape. We got the brackets on for the visor. All right, we're gonna take some denatured alcohol and I'm gonna clean up around this area that we gotta paint. Get all this dust and shit off so that the paint will stick, as well as tape to tape everything off. I don't want it to be popping because of the dust on here. I want to make sure to get a really good coat of paint so these do not rust like the last ones did and rot off. Well, shit, I forgot to hit record. I already got these painted up with the first coat. I just took I got this roll of masking material, just taped off this area and taped under there. Hit it with some paint. I got this Rust-Oleum paint and primer, Hunter Green. It's as close as I could find to what's on the actual roof. It's gonna be hidden anyway underneath the visor, so it's not like anybody's gonna see this, but even though it's gonna be hard to see, I did pick up some glitter and the glitter clear, it's a sealer, because if you can see, there is metal flake in the roof. So I'm gonna try to mimic it as close as I can. It ain't gonna be perfect, but you know, I'll do what I can do. You can see I got this painted as well over here. Let's give that some time to dry, and then we'll hit the next coats. All right, we're getting back to work on this 52 Chevy today. We got to put this inspection plate into the floor in front of the driver's seat. This is for the brake inspection. And the rivets that I have don't fit in here, so I got to drill these out a little bit, and then we'll get those ready to go in the floor of the car. So what I'm going to do to try to keep this in place so I can screw it down is just shove some screws in it for a moment. That'll get me lined up so that I know where to drill these other holes for the rivets. That should be good. Alrighty, we're gonna get our first rivet in the hole here. Alright, we got one down. All right, our inspection plate works now. It's in there proper and actually opens unlike it was before, so that's good. All right, I have this Master Seal NP1 Master Builders. This is really good sealant. I've used it on a lot of projects around the property, but this should work really well to seal up that floor around the lid that we're putting back in here. All right, this stuff is very messy, so hopefully I don't get it all over the damn place, so you just get a nice bead. All right, now we're gonna make a mess trying to smooth it out probably, but kind of want to do that to knock it down a little in some areas. It's literally like gum. It's a good analogy. And once all this stuff is covered up with the rust encapsulator and carpet, no one's gonna see any of it anyway. I'm just trying to seal it so we don't get any water coming in. Tape the nut in so it doesn't fall off the wrench, because it's super tight spaces here. All right, we got that one started, so we'll go to the next one before I tighten it 100%. Make sure things line up. All right, visor's back on the car. Done. All right, so off the list here, the other day we got the floor patched, so that's taken care of, and we just fixed that master cylinder inspection lid. Currently Rich is making my windlace. We're doing a custom windlace for this thing. Trying to think what we need to do next today. I think we need to take out the old tack strip. I know in the last video I said we were done with the tear out, but I got to get that out to put the new one in, so I'm going to do that next. And I'm not even sure how this goes in here. Okay, they got screws in it back here. Up here it looks like it's just stapled in. How the hell they staple through metal? That must be one hell of a stapler. So I ordered this from Bob Drake. Again, I just Googled it. Never bought from this company before or anything, but I did a measurement and it looked like it was the right thickness and whatnot. But now we'll actually compare the two and see if this is gonna work or not. This actually looks thicker than the old stuff, but the width is good. Thickness is just more, but I don't see why that's going to be an issue because it's going to be hidden up under the headliner anyway. There's supposed to be 15 feet of this, and I hope that's enough to go around the whole car. I have no idea. If not, I guess we'll be ordering more. All right, so we come to the conclusion that the majority of what's bad is right through here on these windows on each side. So I'm going to take this out and replace it, but I think I'm going to leave it between the front and around the front and back windows because they're in really good shape. These side ones are kind of bad, but yeah, I think I'll replace the sides of the doors and around the windows and just call it good. Leave the front and back in. So let's start prying this garbage out of here. Oh, well, that window channel is not in good shape. That weather strippings are all rotted out of there and the channel's rusted. So what I discovered in here, this trim piece goes on here and my headliner tucks up under it. And when I was taking out the windlace, it was pulling out and there was thread attached. I discovered there's this cardboard in here that it was sewn to, which is shoved in behind these clips. Now I don't think I'm gonna be sewing that back onto my windlace. So I think I'm gonna pull this all out and stick the tack strip in there and just staple my windlace to it and put it back up. I'm gonna try to get this doubled up piece behind here where it was. It's kind of bent into the top here. Yeah, that fits, I think the thickness of it fits really well. That went pretty well. That fit in there nice. All right, we got one in. I might have to loosen that up though so I can maneuver. I don't know how far I need to be putting these in. I don't know if I got enough screws, honestly, to go all the way around both sides. Shit. Well, I guess I'll do what I can do. I think I need to be another one right about here because otherwise I'm gonna have too much slack in this. I think they had staples like probably like 3 inches or something. I don't got that many screws. Well, this is gonna be what it's gonna be. Yep, awesome. All right, we're gonna try to run this one up around the door because I can't do any more with the windows today without the proper screws. Let's see if we can get this guy in here. I think I'm gonna have to bend these down a little more. It's a little tighter on that corner right there. I don't know if I can get it up in there. It fits back here. All right, we got a hump right here, so I won't be able to attach it over that. I'm gonna have to cut a section and move it, because that ain't gonna work. But it fits all the way down here in the front groove. Don't want to be hitting the window. Getting a little overzealous here with my hammering. All right, we got that one in there. Sweet. That's it today for tack strip. We have to buy more. I just ordered it to cover the other side, so didn't have enough. So the car doesn't have seat belts in it, but I went ahead and ordered some seat belts to install in the car. I got some for the front and the back. I got them from this seatbeltplanet.com. I don't know anything about the company. I just Googled seat belts for 52 Chevy, and that company came up, and the price seemed all right, and I could pick a color that would work with the car, so that's what I got. So those are going to get installed when we put this thing back together. So I figured out that I can't mount this down here or here because there's a whole shroud that goes on the side of the seat here. So this is not going to fit. And then also the frame rail is right underneath of this, so I cannot mount it there. But there's a gap underneath, so we determined that if I mount it here, you see my red mark for the hole, it'll be clearance enough that people getting in and out of the back seat should be able to get by that, and sitting here I can grab this and pull it. So that should just be fine for that. Now we got to mark where we're putting these for the center of the lap belt. I was able to get up underneath the car and determine that there's space underneath here in the above the drive shaft, so I can get the bolts and washers up under there, nuts and bolts. So we're just gonna figure out where we want to mark them and get those in there. Okay, so what I determined with these back seat belts, I have airbags in my car, and there's an air line that runs right up through here to get to the back, and it's like that on both sides. So I cannot drill through here because of that. And then also because I have airbags, I can't drill through the wheel well because I don't want to be too close to the tire when I drop the car. So it's going to be an awkward position, but the safest spot I can go is right here off this rail. You can kind of see this indent. So I'm going to go here and then somewhere here to mount the pieces for the seat belt. It'll kind of be awkward, but most people don't even use seat belts in the back seat. But I want them there. If they need them, they'll have them. So that's what we're going to do. And as I'm drilling these out, I'm going to double check the bolt hole, making sure this is going to fit through. I could probably waller it out a little more, but that fits. All right, we got holes for seat belts. I'm not going to be mounting them obviously today. We just needed to know where they were going. So that's done. Well, a week's gone by. I had to order more tack strip, so that came in the mail. So we're going to get back into the car and finish up with the tack strip today. And a couple of other tasks if we have time. Picked up these cheap lights from Harbor Freight. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but they do add a little bit of light. This one though It's not very bright at all. It really doesn't add anything, so I don't know. Maybe I need to replace the batteries in it. I just have to figure that out, but yeah, yep, I'll open these up here. Yep, it's got batteries. It's not rechargeable. So I probably just got to replace those because I'm sure this is sitting on display and people keep turning the damn things on all the time. God knows how long those batteries have been in there. Anywho, let's get back in here and try to make this work. You know, I don't know if anybody's ever going to watch any of these videos. You know, I'm not a mechanic at all. I'm just interested in doing things like this. I've never done upholstery. I'm just an artist that has vision sometimes of how I want something to look. And I'm willing to tackle it and learn along the way. Sometimes I wish I could focus more on my tattoo art than I do, but I don't know. I just go to what drives me. Right now, it's this interior of this damn car. As I'm doing this, my ADD brain is jumping all over the place, thinking about the next task, and it's like, no, I gotta finish this one. You know, sometimes I get mad when I'm doing this stuff and I'll start throwing wrenches and shit, and I'm sure everybody deals with that. But I also think it helps you to learn some patience to get things taken care of. You gotta stop and think, how do I do this? How do I make this thing work or that thing work? And if you can't figure it out, you try to go to YouTube and see what YouTube has to say. But I'll tell you what, on a car like this old, there's not a lot of videos specific to this car. So it's been tough trying to find things for learning how to do a certain task. So you end up having to try to think on your own to do it, which is good for the brain. All right, that one's in. So one of the tasks that I have to do is replace these channels. And I did find a company. I bought the new channels. Only one showed up in the mail yesterday. I don't know why they didn't pack both of them in the same packaging. Seems kind of ridiculous to me because they're not very big. They're really thin. The box that they shipped it in was plenty big for these to fit in. So anyway, I'm waiting on the second one. And I don't like tackling something until I'm ready to go, like gung-ho for it. So, because I can't deal with that today, we're just gonna move on to the floor. I'm gonna grind down all this rust, get it cleaned out, and get it ready for that rust encapsulator paint that I gotta put on this floor. So I'm gonna go ahead and use soap and water. Dawn just soap and water, so it helps degrease as I go. And the slurry might, it's kind of like wet sanding, I guess, help break some of this shit up. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. It should also help keep the dust down. Less dust would be pretty good. Oh yeah, the other day my buddy Nick came and he wired up the dome light wires, so I got that all connected in now as well. All right, time for the rinse. So I kind of figured it'd be easier, just use the hose to spray this out instead of buckets of water. right, vacuuming's done. We're gonna leave these doors open so she can air out. All right, now I gotta go get cleaned up, get some breakfast in me, go get ready to tattoo for the day. Gotta make some money to help pay for all this crap on this car, so we'll see you in a bit. I don't know where we left off last time, but this is where we're gonna pick up at. I need to start dismantling the seats a little bit more so that we can replace all of this material. So we're going to start pulling staples on these seat backs, and then on the door panels we got to tear all that stuff apart, and then we'll start putting it all back together. I'm hoping my little needle nose here can get all these staples out of this thing, so I'm just going to tackle it. I don't know where I'm going to find staples like that to replace this. So I'll just find what I can that'll work. I don't think I'm going to find something that skinny, unless it's in an air stapler maybe. You know, as much work as this has been doing all of this, it's really become an obsession. I just want to get it done, to the point that it's distracting me at work with tattooing, because I'm looking up parts and trying to search out how to do things, and it's going to be nice to get it all finished, but I really enjoy the process doing all of this. I can see why people get into cars and just want to customize and do all this work. I did it with motorcycles before, but getting into the car world is a whole nother realm, and it's pretty cool. I just wish I had more knowledge. So we got all the staples out of this part. It's just a little trim piece that goes on there. And we got to pull all the staples now out of this entire fabric going around the whole seat. These staples are a little different length for putting the fabric on. There's the tack strip there. Seems like it's in good condition still, so that's good. I didn't want to have to replace that. I think we got all these staples pulled. Interesting thing, down here on the bottom there's a piece of cardboard and sewn. So on the new fabric, when we get this pattern made, I'm gonna have to sew this cardboard back in. So it looks like it inserts underneath of this part. It's not actually stapled down here, so you just got to peel all this off now. Oh, I missed a couple. Oh, they came off. Here we go. I did not know there was insulation in here. I don't know if I'll be able to put that back or just leave it off. It looks like it's sticking to the material in some spots. Oh, I missed one there. Maybe we can salvage it and just leave it on there. I'm assuming it has a purpose. And then let's see. I just got to figure out how to wiggle this cardboard out. Oh, okay. It just kind of pops down now once you take the tension off of it. Slides right out. All right, there's our first skin off the back of the seat. Then we'll have to use this to make a new pattern for the vinyl we're gonna put on the back of these. Now I'm gonna let the wife do the most important job, removing all the staples out of this. Here you go, honey.
Thank you.
All right, I'm on to the passenger side. Oh, that part's just coming right off. It must not have been on there very good to begin with, I guess. Oh, because it's just in the very edge of the staple, I think. I don't even need to pull all those out. Glad I figured that out now. That one came off good, but now I still have to pull all these staples out. Or the wife does.
Yeah, there you go.
skinned our second cat. All right, I'm gonna tackle the first panel for the door. Actually, this is out of the passenger area in the back, so it's not technically a door. But yeah, we're gonna start peeling this one off. If I can figure out how to do it. Oh, it's actually sewn. It's sewn onto this. We're going to be stapling the new material onto this, but I guess I'm going to need a thread puller, which I did not anticipate. So we're going to go get a thread puller and come back to this. While the wife goes and gets a thread puller, I'm going to pull the staples out of these pieces. These go on the sides of the front seat. We're going to be reupholstering those as well with the vinyl, so all the material matches. So we'll get these apart now. That is interesting. I don't know how they managed that. Oh, it's another piece of cardboard. Okay. So you gotta shove that cardboard up underneath and then pull it down tight and staple it in. Alrighty. I'm assuming this insulation is there probably for the condensation that you get on metal, because it'll sweat. It probably helps to keep it from getting in this material. That's just my guess. I don't know for sure, but I don't see why else you would need insulation underneath of this material. So if anybody knows why, leave the answer in the comments. That'd be great. All right, we got ourselves a thread puller now, so we can come in and start pulling this stuff out. Oh, that's not a staple. It's a little metal sharp piece that sticks out of here. Yeah, it's sort of like a, I don't know what that is, but the material is hooked into it. There's a piece of trim here. Gotta flip these nails up to get the trim off. All right, now we're gonna move on to the actual door panels. As you can tell, these are pretty bad shape, really stained and gross. It's gonna be nice to get all this stuff replaced in the car. It's gonna look so much better and smell much better too. This stuff is so musty and dusty and rusty. It'd be good to get it all nice and clean and new in there. There's that skin. All right, everything's dry in here on the floor now. We're gonna go ahead and get this painted with the, what do they call this? It's a two-in-one rust, reform, and seal. So basically a rust encapsulator. Yeah, I got it all over my fingers now. Anyway, we're gonna get this all over the floor, and then we'll give it about a week to dry. Because today we're doing some upholstery, but I figured I'd come over here and get the paint on this so it can dry throughout the week. I should probably get that cord off the floor though, or that's gonna get painted as well. We don't want that. So hopefully that'll stay up there out of the way and not bounce back down into the paint. All right, let's get her done. All right, we got one side done. It's gonna look pretty nice, but then I'm just gonna cover it all up anyway with sound deadener. But this should help preserve the car a little longer. Getting a headache. Gotta crack this door. Fumes are getting to me a little bit. Had to open the door up. Shit's pretty strong. Get some fresh air in here. Oh my God, I actually need to step outside. My brain's freezing. All right, I think that's good. She's covered. Like I said, we'll give her a good week to dry, and then we'll come back and we'll put in our sound deadener. If this was on the outside of the car, I'd probably do a couple of coats. But since it's inside, I think one coat's probably sufficient. We got these old blankets that were in the car originally. They're all tore up and pretty crappy, sun faded and whatnot. But on the back seat, we have this great big hole. And I know we're going to be putting new blankets over it, but I want to sew a patch panel basically in with these old blankets just to protect the integrity of the seat, keep it from decomposing more as we use the car and driving around with passengers in the back and whatnot. So that's the next task here. So we're going to figure out how much of this we need and start cutting up some material. Probably cut off this old crap first, I guess, because we don't want to use that. Don't want to sew a hole into the rest of the stuff we're trying to fix. This is a skill I honed sewing patches on a battle vest. Putting all those patches on by hand.
And your leather. And my leather.
Yeah, and leather jackets as well. And I'm not going to just sew a weave or sew a straight line. I'm going to go around so that this holds in good as it's getting pulled up around the backside to tighten it in. And I'm putting excess material. The hole is way up there, but I don't want it to just rip into that hole and come off. So we're going to go down here and just create a strong edge further away from the actual hole. All right, we got this first edge sewn into the seat. It's pulling on there, or it's holding on there really good. So we don't have to worry about it creeping down up and over the seat or anything like that. So now we're gonna flip it. We can cut off this excess material back here, and we're gonna sew it to the back of the seat. And that'll give us a nice patch panel. Okay, we got this all sewn in, going across there. And it's all in there good and tight. I don't think we need to worry about these ends. That's gonna fray, but anyway, it's not gonna get pulled on from that side. It's just gonna be people sitting down on it. So I don't think we need to worry about the sides. It'll all be covered up with the new stuff. Speaking of that, we're gonna assess the situation with that. As I realized when I measured to buy the blankets, I measured the front seat, which is not as wide as the back seat. So I don't know that these blankets are going to actually fit across this whole thing, in which case we might have to do some sewing. Oh, actually,
It's over.
you over all the way? Hey, all right, it fits this part. I know when I put it over the seat, it didn't come all the way over, but this is going to be tucked against the side of the car, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. As long as it goes over the front and the back and we can, you know, secure it all in with the hog rings, we should be all right. So that's our first piece that's ready to go on. So I guess we just got to figure out where we want to center this and start putting the hog rings in, start covering up the seat. All right, I'm about to attempt to put on my first hog ring here and see how this goes. Hey, it's in there. That worked pretty easily. Nice. I just got to keep in mind that I got to keep this stuff straight so it doesn't get all wavy on the other side. I mean, we can straighten it out when we flip it and we'll cut off all the excess before we do all that. But anyway, there's my first hog ring. We'll just keep it going. I'm gonna scoot this closer. Oh no! I just spilled the whole thing. Yeah, I wanted to move the stool closer and I just dumped them all over the floor. We got a blooper reel. What a dumbass. Hey, look it, I made you a scarf. Can't say I never gave you nothing.
Thanks, baby.
Our seat back is done. Now we just gotta wrap the bottom for the back seat, the bottom of the front seat, and then the other two panels that go on the back. But this is a good start. I wish I could throw it in the car right now, but the car's not ready for that yet. So we're just gonna have to find a place to stick this and then move on to the next piece. And get it as centered as we can so that when we put the other piece into the back, it'll line up pretty close to this. I think that would look much better than being off-centered for those people that got OCD, you know, looking in the back. Don't want them to have a panic attack. All right, so we ran into a problem here with the hump. This goes over the hump in the center of the car. As soon as I pulled this down, it pulled everything in, giving it an angle, which we do not want. So I had to take the hooks off and try to straighten this out. And we got to figure out a way to center this over the hump. I did cut it, but I don't want to cut too much because then it's just going to fray up through here. So I'm really not sure what to do to keep this straight in that section. These pieces look straighter now, these lines. I don't know, it's pretty annoying to have that happen. As soon as I pulled it in, it just kind of screwed everything up here. So I got to decide if I want to risk trying to cut that more, but there's really nowhere to anchor this. If I cut this down too far, I don't want it to keep going, but I really don't know what else to do. I mean, this part is going to be on the hump. No one's going to see it. So if I don't anchor centered, which they did anchor it centered. I don't know how the hell they did it. Oh, they sewed a corner into this thing and pulled it out. So it's almost like they cut it up here somehow and pulled it in. But this is sewn to that. I don't know. I'm a little leery about trying to do that. Because if I cut it wrong, then I lose a blanket. Or, well, a section of it anyway. We'd have to pull it back over and do it again. Well, I don't know what else to do, so that's where they cut it. That's where I'm gonna cut it. Give me the scissors. I'm just gonna go here. Yeah, that did not solve my problem. Now I just got another spot where it can fray. So this is really, really frustrating. Well, there we got it. I had to cut that middle. I just hope this doesn't continue to fray now because I had to do that. But we're gonna punch it in with the hog rings on the side here and hope it holds up. Yeah, that'll give it more support. I'm gonna put another one on either side of that too. All right, now I need to flip it and make sure that we're straight on all of our stuff, and then I'll flip it back down. Ugh.
So what do you want me to do?
Just stand there for a second. That looks pretty straight. God damn. I just hope it lines up with the seat, because I went off the center of the fucking thing. Oh, it doesn't look straight there though, does it? That doesn't look centered on the hump.
It's like the tiniest. If
I
at all.
can't undo it.
Well,
Yeah, I tried to aim for the middle, but it's not the middle. But I'll start from the middle and just start working my way out. Make sure this is tight. Yeah, and then we got this now to stitch in. I don't know if I should do it this way or this way.
that way.
This way? Yeah, I guess because it's going to slide into the back. If I do it the other way, it might pull on it, trying to put it in there.
You're going to tuck the fringes up in there too?
Well, I'm going to probably cut those off once I sew this in. So the reason I'm not concerned with the sides here sticking out is because this is going to be up against the door panel and on the inside of the car. No one is ever going to see this. So that's why I left it like that. But I wanted to tuck this up so it wasn't just flopping around, coming out of the seat and whatnot. So on this front section of the seat here, there's a rod that runs along. So I clipped it onto that, but then I had this excess material that could catch the other springs down here. So I went ahead and clipped it in there as well, just to give it extra support since this is on the front seat. And I'm not 100% confident in how well these Mexican blankets are gonna hold up, because when I do cut them or do anything, there's some areas, I don't know if you can see that, where it starts to fray. And I just worry that it's gonna start coming apart in time, so I think the extra hog rings here will help on the front seat, since that's the part that's going to get the most sitting. So we're not going to have passengers all that much. So now I got to figure out how to get this hooked in here, which is going to be tricky because it's kind of going through the frame. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to make these hog rings work to get into that, especially when there's a bunch of them already in there. So this part I think is going to be a challenge, but we're going to tackle it and see how we can make it work. I was able to get this one through the hole in the frame. There's not a lot of room in some of these, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that on all of them, but I'm going to give it a try because it worked there. So we're just going to keep moving. All right, I got the front seat, bottom section of the front seat done now. It's not exactly the way I wanted it here. This material isn't long enough to pull it through and clip it. So, worst case scenario, I think I might have to just stitch across here to keep it from continuing to rip. But these threads going in there, they do seem pretty strong, so it might be okay. But I got enough room to get the bracket, I think, through there that hooks in. There's a pin in there that hooks the back of the seat to rock back and forth. It hooks in there and then hooks out here on the other side on this pin. So hopefully that works. Like I said, if not, I'll just sew something across here to keep it from ripping and do the same thing on the back side there. I imagine it's going to fray a little bit on the sides here. I don't know really what the hell I could do about that. Maybe I can sew that too. I'd have to do it all by hand though, because it's on here now, so there's nothing else I can do with it. I'm not going to pull all the hog rings just to fix that spot. So now that the bottom of the seat's done, all we got left to do is the seat backs. We got to get wrapped in the blanket. We also have to cut up the fabric for our door panels, get that all ready to go. We have to get the carpet in the car. We got to put in sound deadener. We got to put in the window channels. We got to do a whole bunch of stuff. We're not going to get it all in this video because we just have too much going on. This video is going to get way too long. So we're going to end it here. And then we'll pick back up next week. Anyway, I don't know what you got going on today. It seems like a great day to chase your dreams. We're going to get back to living ours. We'll see you next time. How's it going today? So, today... What?
That's funny.
What do you want me to say?
That was fine. It was just like, hello! Okay. All right, now we got to start over. All right, I'm done with my laughing. Okay.